my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player to go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what are we going to review this week?
Well, Dave, it's a Patreon pick. It's our good friend Dylan, and going with the theme of Halloween, Dave, because this will come out pretty much on Halloween, we have got a movie from 2002 stroke 2003. It's directed by Danny Boyle, who's a local to myself in Bury, Manchester. It stars Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris, Christopher Eccleston, which I didn't realise till I watched it, Megan Burns and Brendan Gleeson, Dave. So I know this is a bit of a cult classic, 28 days later. So did you see this first time round, Dave?
Yeah, so I fucking love this one, Chris, I've got to say. I don't think I watched it at the cinema. I think I was possibly still in my hiatus of avoiding horror things in cinema. But I do like a bit of a zombie, and even more so than the zombie thing, just an apocalyptic story. I do kind of like those. And I think so I'd watched this on DVD, I think, about that time, possibly a love film, which I seem to have mentioned a lot the last few months. And I just loved everything about it. The opening, the setting, the music, I think is outstanding. I still think that theme is so iconic and just a brilliant piece of music. And I seem to remember, Chris, I can't remember where I put it up now, but obviously talking about apocalypse, obviously lockdown now wasn't quite an apocalypse, but it felt a little bit like that at times. And I remember got some footage of Vegas, and I stuck the 28 days later theme tune to it. And like the cover, you know, the VHS or the DVD cover was, you know, all red, and you got the biohazard symbol and the eyes in the background. I just thought it was just really, really well put together. And of course, you know, at this time you're thinking, apart from rom-coms, you know, where you got things like Four Weddings and a Funeral and Twin Town and stuff like that. Well, probably not a rom-com, that one, but you know, your Hugh Grant kind of light comedies, that was British cinema for me. So horror movies, I just didn't associate really. You have to go back to the old Hammer horrors to think of a British horror movie, I think, that's done well. And so, yeah, I just thought this was great, and the way it was done. So, yeah, I couldn't believe you hadn't seen this one, and I guess that's probably my own bias because I'd watched it quite a bit at the time. But I mean, have you got any kind of background on this one?
No, it's just not my thing at all, Dave. I agree with what you said, though. The VHS cover's iconic, definitely. As soon as you see it, you know, I know it says it on the front, but you know what it is. I know what it's about. I know it's like, it's basically The Walking Dead before The Walking Dead in some respects. So I knew everything about it. I knew Danny Boyle, like I say, he's from Bury in Manchester, you know, Trainspotting, things like that. And I know this movie is raved about. It's always in like the higher aggregate scores on all like the different sites as well. So there's something there, Dave. But it's just not my type of movie. And again, what's weird is going back, and even like Batman Begins, he's like Cillian Murphy, knowing. Then you watch Peaky Blinders. He's been in quite a lot of films that I've seen, but I've never been. Obviously, he's the lead pretty much in this, but there's a lot of movies I've seen over the years that he's appeared in, and I'm like, oh yeah, and he's a great actor. He's a great actor, and he's a United fan, Dave. So he's had to suffer over the last few years.
Really?
So, you know, he needs
like
all
less now.
He needs all the help he can get, like most of us. But no, I do appreciate like his career and the things he's done. He's a great actor. You know, Thomas Shelby's always going to be iconic for him. So, yeah, I think the only thing that I ever remember about this is that iconic scene on Tower Bridge.
Yeah.
Where it's just gone completely. But I want to get into it, Dave, because, yeah, I've never seen it. I didn't know what to expect watching this for the first time. And like I say, it's 23 years old. But with all the sequels that have been since and one recently. It's quite interesting that Dylan's picked this one.
Yeah, so it came out earlier this year, didn't it? The 28 years later. And then, apparently there's going to be 2 more after that. So interesting timing. I haven't seen it. I've just heard a lot about the controversial ending. But I can't wait to hear what you think of this one, even though I know it's horror, so it's not your favorite genre at all. But yeah, I'm sure you'll have some strong opinions on it. So, Chris, shall we get into our trailer?
Let's go.
"28 days after the end of the world, a man wakes up in a hospital wearing nothing but confusion and a pair of paper underpants.
And apparently no one thought to check up on him for a month. That is classic NHS. I'm doing Cillian Murphy's accent. He's a leprechaun, Dave. Come on. It looked like he had a leprechaun down his pants later on in the film. But anyway, it made me feel good about myself.
From the visionary director of Danny Boyle, the man who made Britain's apocalypse look like a Sunday morning in Birmingham.
Hey, you said that, Dave, not me. Yeah, the only real difference is fewer Gregs and slightly more blood.
Cillian Murphy stars as Jim, a man who wakes up to find London completely deserted, except for a handful of zombies who run faster than anyone on sports day.
And that's the real horror, realising the undead have better cardio than you.
Together with a group of survivors, Jim must battle the infected, the army, and the ever-present smell of post-apocalyptic body odour.
It's like The Walking Dead, but grimmer, sweatier, and with a cracking soundtrack.
28 days later, the film that made running zombies terrifying and naked hospital wake-ups deeply uncomfortable.
And let's be honest, Dave, Cillian or Cillian, whatever his name is, has been trying to live down those hospital pants ever since. I'd have kept him on personally.
It's haunting. It's brutal. It's the feel-good apocalypse of 2002.
You can keep your Marvel movies. I want 2 hours of pure despair. Please. There's no way I would have said that, Dave. Not a fucking chance. You've stitched me right up there, Dave.
28 days later, because sometimes the scariest thing isn't the virus, it's realising you'd be the first one to be eaten.
That's very true, Dave.
A group of animal rights activists infiltrate a laboratory in Cambridge which houses abnormally aggressive chimpanzees. Despite a scientist warning that the chimps are infected with a highly contagious rage virus, an activist frees one, and it attacks her, and within seconds of exposure, she succumbs to the virus. She immediately attacks the others, and the virus spreads rapidly across the UK, resulting in total societal collapse. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
Well. Dave, I fucking hated this movie from the start to the end. Dylan has unintentionally stitched me because I hated it. I hated the colour palette. It basically, and I know this was before it is just The Walking Dead. I mean, The Walking Dead pissed me off anyway after the first series. I always go on about the same episode after episode after episode, the same thing. They just didn't notice these zombies are there. With this, and you said it in the trailer, I did, and I'm sure you've seen it yourself in the research, is Danny Boyle decided to use proper athletes, didn't he, for the people who are actually having the rage, because he said they walk, run differently, the way they, obviously, like you said, we were laughing about the cardio, but it's true, because they are like you're being chased by Seb Coe or someone like that. That's a throwback for you, Dave. Steve Cram. John Ovett.
Yeah, Steve Cram, Seb Coe.
Yeah, is it
what
John
was the
Ovett?
other guy? There was another guy who wasn't... It was Steve
Ovett.
Ovett, but there was a guy, he always used to have a t-shirt tan. You know, he'd have the brown arms. He had a tash. He looked like a bit like the guy who did Spit the Dog. I can't remember what his fucking name is. I'm gonna have to Google that.
You know what? He said one of the 110-meter hurdler guy. He was Welsh, and he had. Is that not him who you talk? I know he wasn't a long distance runner like Steve, because he was Steve Cram, Sebco, and then Steve Ovett was sort of like, he'd won one of the bigger races, but it was always Steve Cram and Sebco won. Sebco was actually the better. Because I always liked Steve Cram, but he was always injured, Steve Cram, wasn't he? But I used to watch it. Dave, what about Friday nights, 8 till 9, ITV1 athletics, and then 9 till 10 it swapped to Channel 4. I used to love that on a Friday, athletics. I absolutely loved it. John Regis, fucking Colin Jackson, Linford,
fucking 200
Sally
meters,
Gunnels,
John Regis.
Yeah, Steve Backley, everything. I mean, my greatest, my greatest ever Olympian. How the hell we've ended up on this, I don't know. But my greatest ever Olympian of all time, I fucking loved, was Michael Johnson. He was unbelievable, Michael Johnson. The 200 meters and the 400 meters, the way he used to run like a peacock, the way he run his head.
Weird with his straight back, wasn't it?
He's so good, Michael Johnson. I absolutely loved him. When he got the world record, I was 19. This is how much of an athletics fan I was. 1932, I think, was his 200-meter record for years. And then he pissed it. The 400 was about 43. Nobody could touch him until Usain Bolt beat his record in 200. I love Michael Johnson, honestly. But anyway, Dave, he's not in this movie. Just thought I'd throw that segue up there. But yeah, you can see that. But yeah, this movie, jeez. I think there's some good bits, and I love the way, like when you watch that one with Tom Cruise, is it Vanilla Sky, where they do like the middle of Times Square, and they blocked everything up, didn't they, and all that, and the Tower Bridge thing was so clever. And I saw that it was to do with the camera. They could do these shots quickly, couldn't they? Danny Boyle was like, they didn't use a 35mm camera, they used a different style of camera, but they were able to sort of...
It was digital, wasn't it? So
yeah,
it was quite new. I mean, you'd had Phantom Menace come out. So obviously George Lucas was really pushing for digital technology, and you know, all the cinemas had to change based on, you know, the fucking Star Wars movies and stuff. But the technology, it's not like digital cameras now. I mean, you've got a better quality digital camera on your phone probably, but it just gives it that different aesthetic. So I think a lot of it was to do with being able to film quite quickly as well. So like the scenes in London, the scenes on the M6 and stuff. Well, you have to sort of plan that all out, because you know, if you were stuck in that traffic jam, you'd be like, fucking Danny Boyle.
Yeah, you would.
Just trying to get to fucking work. So yeah, but with the digital technology, you don't have to set all the film up and stuff, so you can sort of film it quickly and get in, get out.
Yeah, and I think that's quite clever. And we said it last week with the trailer. It is of its time. It's got that hue to the screen on it, that like late 90s, early 2000s feel about it. The music, like I say, the music is good, but honestly, when he wakes up. I think it is Cillian Murphy. I always say Cillian, but Cillian Murphy is Dave. I'm not being funny, but I did feel better about myself. And he obviously is a grower. You know what I mean? The poor guy there, you know, he's literally got a shrimp dick. And I'm like, I know you've been asleep, but again, where's the logic? It's like when Rick wakes up in Walking Dead. And it's like, well, why has he not been attacked by the zombies? How has Rick gone into a coma? This is Walking Dead now. And then wakes up in the hospital. And again, with this guy, same thing. He wakes up in the hospital and there's nobody about, but he's alive. And honestly, my head was pickled. And I'm thinking, so whoever wrote the Walking Dead, the Blackers, has just ripped off Danny Boyle, unless obviously it was the comics were out before. I don't know. But I don't know. It feels very familiar, and it feels very UK, very British. The movie. I hated every minute of this. I hated every minute. The only shot is that bit on Tower Bridge is any good. The rest of it was just like, fuck my life. This is just a stitch up. Dylan has done me big time. I've not slated a movie for a while, but I hated every minute of this. This is not for me, this sort of movie. And I say about The Walking Dead, it was the big thing, wasn't it, around 2010 or whatever. First series, yeah, really like John Berthnall's great. He was an arsehole in it, one is his mate and all that. They were cop. It was really good, and he gets his missus pregnant and all that. You know, you've got all these different things. And then the second series with the farm, where they were all in the farm, the family and all that. And it's like, how have they not heard these zombies? I was like, I'm out. We're going to a store. Yeah, I've said it loads of near the time that these sort of movies come up. It's like, oh, let's go and get some supplies from the local hardware store. Oh, I need clothes. They go in there, they're going about the business. Everyone's fucking happy. Next minute, open the door. There's 50 fucking zombies down the cellar. I'm like, oh, come on, fuck off. You've not heard any even going, I'm like, oh, it used to piss me right off. But honestly, I hate The Walking Dead. It's fucking rubbish. But this is the same. I just do not like these sort of movies. I mean, I remember trying to play Resident Evil 4, which is the best Resident Evil out of all of them, Dave, with Leon in. And that is obviously this type of, you know, thing. And I can't get into these sort of games. Maybe because I'm a shithouse, it makes me jump. I don't know. But I hate these movies, Dave. These are just, oh, give me Necromantic any day. Give me somebody getting piped on. A plumber's in pipe or something adjustable. I don't know. But this is just terrible. It's rubbish.
How dare you? Honestly, you dissing my... And what, actually, what, before we go into what I think, I mean, what is it that you hate about it? Is it the fact that it's scary? Is it the fact that you're just not bought into his plight, his predicament? You know, this sense of isolation, this sense of confusion when he wakes up. Like, what the fuck's happened? What is it that you don't like about it?
Everything, Dave. Everything. I'm just being completely narrow-minded to the movie. I can appreciate the cinematography of it. I can appreciate what they're going for. But I feel as if, as much as I hate this genre of movies, I feel as if I've seen better versions of this movie. Even though this is like, you know, Spielberg rates it as one of his best and all that. Stephen King loves it. And all. I'm just like, no, this is just, honestly, it's just not for me. I just cannot get into it. I mean, I suppose if you think about it, we did that thinking one the other week, didn't we? The werewolf one, that UK
Dog
werewolf.
Soldiers.
Yeah, so it's not far away from that, really, if you think about it. Once Jim meets these people, and Diana Harris is obviously, she's out of James Bond as well, isn't she, Dave?
Yeah.
A bit later on, so she's a great actress. But yeah, I have a little bit of a thing for Naomi Harris as well, Dave. I've got to say, she's very. No, it's just not for. I couldn't put my finger on it, other than me just being an absolute hypocrite. But you give me Keith Fatale, Lauren Avedon, and I am happy. This is not Chris happy. This is Chris every minute of this 2-hour movie, Dave. But yeah, I can get it. I can understand why everyone loves it, but it's just not my cup of tea at all. I just no.
Well, to be fair, there is no real redemption at all, and there is nothing happy. There's nothing particularly hopeful, really. I mean, you get these little moments, but ultimately it's a depressing world. And so what I was interested in was whether you'd pick up on the Walking Dead thing, because it's not quite shot for shot, but it is very, very similar. And the comic for Walking Dead came out in 2003. So
somebody's watched this movie.
I was trying to find out, was there any kind of suing that went on? I mean, the thing is, for the first issue to come out, obviously it takes a while to write and to draw and everything, to publish. So I was thinking that is too close, though. I mean, that really does look like a rip-off, that opening. But then trying to find if there was any kind of suing, there wasn't that I could see. But I think it's because there's a lot of similarities, you know, in the whole genre, and so people borrowing ideas off other people. And what I was quite interested in, I went back and I read this a few years ago now, but I read The Day of the Triffids, which doesn't sound nearly as apocalyptic as it is, but when I read that, and this is a book written in the 50s, I was quite surprised at how fucking Walking Dead that is, because the thing is with all these types of movies, you've got the the virus or the zombies or the triffids or whatever, and they are the initial threat. But actually, what they do is they just break down society. So they create a threat, but then once you have society removed, what are the people like? And what I was surprised about with Day of the Triffids is that goes really into that, and people aren't very nice when that society is stripped away, and to very much a lesser extent, you do see it a little bit. We have little brief brushes up against that society being stripped away, like in fucking lockdown. In those early days, people are saying, no, it's okay. You don't need to stockpile your toilet roll. Get out the fucking way. Give me loads of toilet roll. Give me all the pasta and whatever. And yeah, people go a bit feral. And so, yeah, there's just lots and lots of influences that bring it to this, but definitely the waking up disoriented, trying to understand the world through Jim's eyes. I thought that was so similar to Walking Dead, and I don't think I've seen it done in anything else quite so prominent now. But yeah, those definitely strong parallels.
You know what? And it's funny, actually, Dan, I'm shitting on it, but I did like the thing when they were traveling to Manchester, and it's just, the motorway.
Familiar, innit? Familiar M6.
Yeah, as you come to Manchester, I've lived there all my life, but it's the burning and the apocalyptic shot. That's quite iconic when they're in the taxi. But I think what it is with it is that, like you say, Jim wants to go and see his parents. You realise, obviously, they committed suicide and all that, and this like reminiscing side of it. But when the zombies come in, they are so quick, and the athletes thing I think is clever because it's like they end up like super serum. Do you know what I mean? It's
like
one
Steve
of them.
Rogers.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I feel. I feel I understand it. Like they're taken over. Their adrenaline's bumped up to 10, and they're fucking 100, and they're chasing after him. I don't know. It just didn't hit with me, I think, as it should, and not just because the genre isn't my sort of movie. I think Cillian Murphy and Brendan Gleeson, they're acting good in it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not for me. Like, and maybe that's a silly thing. You're saying Day of the Triffids, David. I've heard of that before, I must admit. Is The Walking Dead came first for me. So even though I know watching this, Walking Dead has ripped it off, and maybe I've got a bit of a bias towards the fact that I did enjoy that first series of The Walking Dead. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a subconscious thing where I'm like, yeah, but Chris, the 28 Days Later came first. Yeah, I know, but I don't know whether it's that, Dave. I just can't. I'm very Americanized with my movies, and I don't even know if that's a word, but I always struggle. I sound silly, this coming from the UK, but I struggle watching a lot of UK movies, I must admit. There's some classics out there, like, the Guy Ritchie stuff. We haven't done it yet, Snatch and Lock, Stock, and these movies in the past, but you give me a proper American movie, and that's so silly, I know, but I struggle with a lot of these UK type movies at times. I don't know why. I just love the over the top silliness of American produced movies, which is utterly ridiculous, Dave. And you can pour and tear strips in that because some of the greatest American movies like Avengers and that are all filmed in the UK. Batman, the Dark Knight, that they're all filmed in the UK. Yeah. But what I mean, the way the Star Wars, James Bond is UK, but you know what I mean? That's like a big movie type thing. I don't know. Nothing ever sits with me. Even Trainspotting and that, I can watch it. Maybe it's because it's relatable and the cities and where everything's being filmed. The true UK. A lot of people have a fascination with the UK, but if you ask me, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be on the first plane out of here, but I'd want to go to America. But then I have a lot of American friends. We go to Vegas a lot, as you know, and I've got a lot of friends through my vlogging channel that are American. They would do anything to come to the UK, Dave, so it's like, I don't know. I just think it's that we grew up with a lot of American movies as kids, and I think that's just what it is. I really struggle with a lot of UK-based movies. I really do. I don't know what it is about me. It's a really strange bias I have.
Well, I do think, especially in the 80s, like America was so different so we were talking before we were recording, weren't we, about being kids, and especially on a Sunday, it's just literally fuck all to do. Nothing was open. You could go out on your bike or whatever, but there's nothing on the TV to do. There's certainly no smartphones or anything. People didn't have computers in their house back then. 3 fucking channels. It was shit. But when you would see these fantastical movies across in the US, it just felt like a different world. So I think I have that as well. I just have that thing, that American exceptionalism, where they're just up on this pedestal. It's just this land, and especially the stuff that's filmed in California or whatever, all bright and sunny and everything. So yeah, I understand what you mean, but I do think, like, it's not just it being British, it's having an independent sort of feel to it as well. I think maybe this cost $8 million to put together, and they actually did run out of money at one point and had to pay more for the ending, but it made over 80 million, and so fantastic return there. And you say about that Britishness, you say about Train Spotting, the original actor was supposed to be Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi there. Ooh. But Danny Boyle and him fell out because when they were putting together The Beach, he wanted Ewan McGregor. He lined up Ewan McGregor for the lead role, but 20th Century Fox didn't want like a small time actor, if you like. They wanted a big star, so that's why Leonardo DiCaprio ended up with it. But I think they really fell out over that, and so obviously that was the end of his being lined up for this role as well.
I remember 82 at the box office, so it was 10 times its budget, Dave, pretty much, which is good. Yeah. Here's an analogy for you, Dave. My take on UK movies to American is this. As a wrestling fan, right? As a wrestling fan, I never forget this, watching Dickie Davis on Saturday afternoon, right? Grandstand or whatever it was on ITV, Sports World or whatever, right? This is God's honest truth. And I remember I used to watch the wrestling, and it was fucking Big Daddy and Giant A-Stacks. Giant A-Stacks looks like he should be working in a fucking scrapyard or coming round fucking asking if you want to tarmac your drive. And Big Daddy looks like he should be a fucking lollipop man. But that was the height of our wrestling as kids. It was fucking shit. However, then Dickie Davis, towards the end of the 80s, would then go, let's pass over to our American wrestling. And he would go over to the WWF, and you would get this 6'8" fucking blonde do-rag fucking Adonis Hulk Hogan, who was relatable from Rocky. Macho Man Randy. Well, as a kid, he was the Ultimate Warrior, all-time favorite. Like, I think him and Rick Rude had the best bodies in wrestling for me. But he'd have like these little segments of 5 minutes of American wrestling, the Macho Man Randy Savage, all these people, Dave, and it was so over the top, and it was just such better. They were muscly, they were just like proper superheroes, larger than life. Hogan was just an absolute monster. And then you've got a fucking Big Daddy and Giant A-Stacks who couldn't even, once he hit the floor, couldn't get back up. And you were like, easy. It was fucking rubbish. Kendo Nagasaki, fucking rubbish. So that's why I have this love for America, because you would just get that snippet of wrestling, and I'd be like looking, I would literally be side-eyeing that meme, the guy of his girlfriend where he's looking at the other girl going past, and you'd use it. That was it. That was America for me. The A-Team, Knight Rider, all these things. I mean, we had the Professionals, a late 70s thing and stuff like that. There wasn't really anything in the 80s that compared to the 80s, Knight Rider, Street Hawk, Magnum, all the Airwolf. They were just amazing, weren't they? And then you've got, what have we got? Fuck all Bergerac, fucking rubbish, Dave. We had a shit TV when we were kids. Fucking Bergerac, Jim Bergerac going around fucking Guernsey or wherever he is, solving problems. We had that, and we've got Hannibal and the Face Man doing the business over in America. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm not having it. I'm on a soapbox today.
I definitely do agree. It's a nice contrast that you pulled out the bag there. So, I went to watch wrestling. I did see the old Big Daddy but it was just almost. It's not euphemism.
You know what? The hard
me out-
drives need to be checked.
me out the back.
Yeah, Shirley's hard drive needs to be checked, I think. It was fucking bizarre. He's about 70, wasn't he? Fucking Shirley Crabtree. Unbelievable.
That's the thing that even as a kid, it was like, I don't get it. Like, he's clearly a big fan favorite. Mind you, I never fucking got Hogan either, which I've said before.
Whoa, steady now. Fucking steady. You'll be having a go at Terry now, R.I.P.
Yeah. But anyway, but with Big Daddy, you know, he comes out and everyone's like, easy, and it's like, he's just a big
just
bloke.
hold people. He just
He's
hold
old.
people. That's all they do. Him and sorry to interrupt. Him and Giant Ace actually just run into each other. Big Daddy would try and get him and just belly to belly fucking run into each other. That's all they did, and he'd get him in like weird holes. Oh, Dave, it's fucking shit. Sorry to cut across you, but
No, that's all right. But it is a good contrast there. And what I was going to say when you were saying like Knight Rider, Street Hawk, Airwolf, stuff like this brilliant technology, and this just a fantastical world. And then what have we got? Fucking RV the same pet, but you love RV.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, there you go, though.
Favorite ever show, actually, Dave. Yes, I've been watching it again. I don't know, but I've been watching it again. But I watch it every year. I love it. I watch it at least twice a year. It's on ITVX, actually. They're releasing a weekly from Series 1. But yeah, Phils and Horses, stuff like that. But I mean, as in a action type show, can you name a UK action type show in the 80s that was comparable to? We had Bergerac. Probably the fucking Bergerac, Dave. Jim fucking Bergerac. Yeah, well, that's the 70s. Minder was good, but it wasn't really. Minder was good, actually. At least I love Minder. I still watch clips of it on YouTube. Yeah, George Cole and Dennis Waterman were class, but they're not like an A-team action type thing. That would have been like the Professionals won it or something from the 70s. We didn't really have anything like that in the UK.
So we are killing it with the tangents today. So anyway, let's come back. We were talking about Cillian Murphy. I think his performance in this is brilliant. This is definitely, he'd done stuff before, but this is definitely his breakout role. And I think he absolutely nails it. I mean, the bit that I like when, you know, he's sort of discovering this world, and it's a bit of fucking, a bit of bullshit. I think he's definitely got plot armor, hasn't he, at several points throughout this movie. When he's in the church, and you've got the priest coming after him, and he's all like fucking rabid and big fucking rage monster, and he's like, "You okay, Father?" So that was a bit silly, but like when he sort of he feels like he's abandoned, and he's walking around, and just the fear that he's been left alone, you know, and he can't find anyone. Everyone else has left him, and it turns out it's a dream and stuff. So I think his performance and conveying that fear is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor. I do. Cillian Murphy's such a good actor. He is, Dave. But I think you're right. You know, the random car in the middle of like London, and the alarm goes off. And he's like, oh, all right then. So someone turned the alarm on, did they? When they were fucking running from the zombies, from fucking Seb Coe and his mates chasing them. And he decided to put the alarm on in case, like, you know, the insurance premium went up or anything. It's just like, okay then. But I'm with you. I think when he goes looking for the family, and when he's and I think the situation when he gets infected as well, Brendan Gleeson's character, because he's like the leader of the gang at this point, you know, Frank.
It's like a cuddly bear. He's like the dad.
Yeah, he's that, and it's when he starts like pushing him away, pushing the girl away. And he's like, is it Hannah? And he's like, it's his daughter, and he's like, get away. And then obviously he's about to kill him. Jim's about to do him. And the next minute they get absolutely taken out by the army. And I didn't know, to be fair, that Christopher Eccleston was in it, Dave. And you know, this actual movie is set in, because his character's not Major Henry West, Dave. He's actually called Raymond Calitri in this. So he's actually come over from Gone in 60 Seconds. It's actually an offshoot of Gone in 60 Seconds. No, but he in this, like, I wasn't expecting him in it. I've never, like I said, and that's truthfully why I've never seen the movie. His performance is okay, but one who pisses me off, Dave, is the guy who plays Carlton Leach in Rise of the Foot Soldier, who's an absolute bellend in it. He's the horrible, like, soldier in it. He is the one who think it's Ricky Hartnett. Yeah, Rise of the Foot Soldier. He always plays like the Cockney gangsters, all to do with the Essex boys and the bloody Range Rover and all that sort of thing. He always plays that character in there. He's quite convincing, and he's like an obnoxious like soldier who's like just awful. And that's, I suppose, where the comparisons even then to sort of Walking Dead come in, don't they? Because ultimately Rick and that sort of have a handle on the zombies, but it's the actual humans that he ends up being. Like, you look at Negan. I said, no, I've never watched him, but I know Jeffrey Fingy's brilliant as Negan. Like,
he is, yeah.
He's excellent. Sam was still watching it then, so I'd watched the odd episode just for him, because I thought he's like, the portrayal of that character was just awful, wasn't he? He was an absolute wanker. But I think with this, I get it. I get everything. It's weird. It's just bizarre movie. But Dave, again, this is just me, my bias. I hold my hands up. I'm happy to call me out because you love it, because I can completely get it. It's just not my genre of movie.
Yeah, but I think going back to Eccleston, and I'm not a massive fan, but he fits this better than fucking Raymond Calitri.
I love that. What name? Salford's finest. All right, mate. And he's called Raymond Calitri. Oh, all right, then. Makes sucking coffins. Fucking ridiculous.
Fucking absolute, woodwork enthusiast. But so yeah, I think the idea, and I talked about The Walking Dead, and obviously things like the Day of the Triffids novel, and I don't know. I can't remember what the book was, but I remember reading something in English, and it was quite apocalyptic. It was, that sense of someone discovering the apocalyptic world, and this was all coming off the back of the nuclear bomb at the end of the Second World War, wasn't it? And I think a lot of people were imagining, oh, fucking hell, if this, the Americans, the Russians, the UK have got a few, what happens if everyone just sets their nukes off and we end up in this apocalyptic world? So I think that's why you ended up with these stories. And then again, someone comes up with an idea that, oh, well, maybe it's the humans, and maybe it's when society breaks down. I think where The Walking Dead definitely did it better is because it was a series, and again, the comic books fucking brilliant. They're really, really good. Black and white, which takes a bit of getting used to, but once you get into the story, it's really good. But because it's a longer form, you see how people devolve. They are whoever they are, and when you've got society there, they're projecting a society view. But when all of that's gone and it's just about survival and getting by, then people just get a little bit worse over time. And because Walking Dead had all of those seasons, I mean, I just because I'm a completionist, I need to go back and I need to finish it. But even I dropped off, and I fucking loved that. But for this one, we're literally talking about 28 days. So unless it's February, not an actual month. And I tell you what, Chris, this is also a Christmas movie. Because when they discover old Gleason there and his daughter, Hannah, so Frank is his character's name, they've got the old Christmas tree up and stuff, haven't they? So Christmas movie. So
I didn't even see that. Didn't see it.
Yeah. So the thing, so we're talking like, a month later, and this squadron or whatever the fuck they are, this bunch of fucking army people, suddenly, like, that's it. They're gone. They're just these fucking rapists now. they just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, I think it would take longer than a month for everyone to just go feral. But yeah, I think it's another point where, earlier in the movie, I said about it not being hopeful, but when it's or not you, but when you can see our main actors, our main protagonists kind of escaping these infected, and I keep saying zombies, there's a bit of debate, are they zombies because they're not really the undead, You know, they're just infected with this rage virus. But when it's them, you know, you can kind of root for them, and you still root for them or root for the humans, if you like. But when it gets to the squaddies, and it's like, oh, fucking hell, you know, these are real pieces of shit. I mean, there's that one guy, the sergeant, isn't there, where he's actually maintained his normal self, you know, but the others have just gone proper, like, fucking off-piste.
Yeah, and not only that, I think that takes out a little bit of the movie, because it is that sort of dog eat dog and all that sort of thing. But it's the bit when Maris kisses Jim. I'm like, you know, I get it. They was, like you say, about the soldiers and what they were going for, and they were trying to, like, you know, attack him and that. But that really takes me out of the movie for me, Dave. It's like, it's not like Con Air or something at the end when he's like rescued everyone and she comes and gives him a kiss, and we've got Leanne Rimes playing and all that sort of thing. We've got zombies chasing him around the house like fucking Michael Johnson, my favorite, you know, athlete or whatever. You know, it's like, well, I'll tell you what, let's just have a snog. It's all right. Yeah, he's covered in blood anyway as well, Dave. So there's an issue there for passing disease. You know, you've got to watch yourself in this sort of world at this time, especially the way it's spread. But that really took me out of the movie. I don't know why, even more. It sounds silly. I don't know if it has for you, but it feels out of place, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. It was a bit weird. I don't think it needed that at all. But I mean, that's fast forwarding a bit, isn't it? Because before that, you know, initially they think they're being rescued, and then it slowly unveils because they've got the guy who's infected, sort of chained up out the back, you know, one of the previous squaddies, and then it's obvious, you know, they just want to not necessarily repopulate the earth, they just want to rape people.
Basically, yeah.
So the fun bit out of repopulating the earth, and so it all turns really sour. But then Jim, I mean, he's a fucking courier. You know, he was in hospital because he got knocked off his bike and then just kind of woke up. But he turns into John Rambo.
I know.
You've got these guys, and they've been through, you know, the privates. You could say, well, at least they've been through their basic training, you know. But you've got corporals and shit there. It's like, I think they'd be able to take out a civilian. Pretty sure, you know, who's a courier. And I go with it, but I must admit, I stretches things a lot, you know, because I mean, he's even got the fucking headband at one point, hasn't he? You know, it's just like, yeah, I don't buy it the way that kind of evolved.
It feels bad now, because I was ready to go on that scene. I forgot about that. Listen, you're right, because he's just a weedy guy, isn't he? He's just a courier.
Yeah.
He's like and what gets me is, I understand that they've had to run away a few times, but when you watch a lot of these films, they become battle hardened, don't they? And they know that they've got to survive. But you're right, Jimmy's acting like he's like ex-commando or something, or he's been like interrogated and he's been like in these sort of prisoners of war camps where he's had to survive, and, you know, Chuck Norris style, Dave, eating heads off rats, missing an act too, and stuff like that. There is that feel to his character, and I'm glad you said that, not me, because I would have completely decimated the movie on you. But yeah, but I also think you're right, but also it sort of works towards the end, doesn't it? Because they've got not only have they got the zombies, they've got the army who is sort of double crossing, very Walking Dead like, you know, it's the same thing. It's also when Frank gets infected, and obviously we get him shot, and that's when they're all together. You're right. I don't think. I mean, Christopher Eccleston's character, he isn't horrendous to start with, is he, or anything like that? But I think as a squad, it's like you're in charge of these absolute arseholes, and you must have known what they've been doing as they've gone through the UK doing their thing. Have they just gone round raping and pillaging everywhere? It's not like it's some pirate fucking movie, is it? It's that is strange the way they do that, where they're the ones supposed to be protecting you, but then all of a sudden a little bit of jeopardy, and they just all their training and the skills they've think it turns them into baddies. It's weird how these movies pitch people. It really is.
Yeah, and another interesting choice, because I don't think you'd get this in an American sort of apocalyptic movie. But Hannah is played by Megan Burns, who, let me see, was born in, I think it was 86, I saw before. So she'd have been about 15, 16 at a push, for when this was filmed. And how young she is when the squaddies are getting fucking horny for raping the pair of them. It's like, oh, this is like really fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. It's weird as well, I think. Like, but that's, I suppose, what he's going for, Danny Boyle. Is like, all bets are off. There's no martial law, is there? The fucking place is just run by anybody at this point because everyone's fucking dead.
I think that is martial law, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, whatever that is.
There's no martial law. There's no law. Lawlessness.
No law. Yeah, that's it, Dave. Yeah, martial and law. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I completely getting it wrong. But I think, like, obviously, even when they see the jets stream, don't they, in the sky, and it's like, there's obviously someone somewhere is living. There's something going to happen. I do understand, like, the idea of, like, the end bit and the whole, like, fighting, the killing, everything that. I think, like, it all comes together quite nicely. But then it's also the bit when Jim wakes up, doesn't he? And he's all like in his quaint cottage and all that sort of thing. They're in Cumbria at this point, but it's sort of like after this is the rebuild, I suppose, at this point, and we get that sort of and we get the banner "Hello," which is a bit strange, but obviously the plane goes over. But I
it's fucking Lionel Richie.
Yeah, no. Is it me you're looking for? Is that the one where the girl's blind? The video, isn't it? Is that the one? So, yeah. Isn't it? Yeah, the girl's blind in the video. I remember that from the old 80s. But yeah, I think it has to end how it starts with him opening his eyes basically and going, "Where the hell am I?" But it's a lot more calmer place that he's in. I sort of feel as if that ending works very well, if I'm being honest. As much as I don't like the movie, I think that is the perfect way to bookend it, basically, start and end. But it works where there is a sort of satisfying ending to a point.
Yeah, and there are different endings as well. So some more bleak and where Jim gets killed off, but apparently it tested really badly. So people didn't like that. So they kind of wanted a little bit of hope. But even though I love these kind of post-apocalyptic worlds, and I don't know why, because, in a way they fucking scare the shit out of me, and especially in lockdown and stuff, I'm thinking, it's just going to go full fucking Walking Dead at some point or what? I don't know. I just think the world is so bleak. There's literally, like, what is your plan? What are you going to do? Like, if you have a baby, you're fucking so dependent. Like, how are you going to escape everything? So, I don't know. I don't know why I like these movies. But Chris, should we get into our final review?
Let's go. So, Dave, Dylan, he's done a number on me completely. Dylan, I salute you, my friend. Great pick. And I love the fact that you love this movie, Dave, and we've took the mick a little bit. I mean, the tangents have been unbelievable. We've gone from Big Daddy to Macho Man Randy Savage to Hulk Hogan to all sorts. But I do think that I can understand why it's a great movie. It's just not for me. I don't like it. I felt that some of the dialogue I struggled with. I think Cillian Murphy at times, I found it hard to understand what he was saying. And there's something like I said, the Tower Bridge thing's brilliant. Like that is so good. The showing, and they do a great job, and of like it being decimated and there's nobody about. And I think when they're in the taxi driving to Manchester, and you've got the whole city's just on fire and there's smoke everywhere and everything. It's so calm on the motorway, and then there's this great shot that pans up. That's good. That is really good. And you're in the cab and everything, and there's no one else on the road. I mean, questions about the fuel, Dave, but I used to question that in Walking Dead. Well, there you go. But I don't think. No, I'm not going to send it to the bottom. I don't think I can. I think it's an Elm Street. It's terrible movie for me and not one I would watch. But that's more my bias over not liking this genre of movie. I can appreciate everything about it, but still not enjoy it. So Elm Street for me. So what about yourself, Dave?
So, I mean, as you can probably tell, I love this kind of genre, even though, there's nothing hopeful. I do prefer, a good redemption story or something like that. Stick a bit of Rocky 4 on or something, and have that pumping music and that feel-good factor. This is none of that at all, is it? It's not hopeful at all in any way. It's pretty depressing, and even though the end of the movie starts with, you might think that it might be hopeful. Well, we just happen to know that there's 28 weeks later, and now there's 28 years later, so the hope is gone. I don't. Clearly, it's not a perfect movie. It's very much that indie movie. I think, like you say, things like the kiss and that came later on is all just a bit weird. But I love the soundtrack. I can't bring myself to put it to a full Cloud City though. I think I'm held back. I'm sort of being forgiven in some ways because it's an indie film, but it just, for it to be a Cloud City, it's got to be bigger. It's got to be better for me. So it's a Pleasantville, really strong Pleasantville. I do think this holds up pretty well. I do like the fact that, they've subverted that zombie part of the genre, really, by making them fast. And then since then, we've seen things like World War Z. Couple of years after this, Zack Snyder did the remake of Dawn of the Dead. They were pretty fast in that as well. And so, definitely Pleasantville. Definitely enjoyed it way more than you did. But I can tell you what, Chris, you say you hate this one. I cannot fucking wait for you to watch next week's movie. So what are we going to do?
Well, it is another Patreon pick, and it's one of our newest patrons, Reese. So thank you for picking this one, mate. We're going back, Dave. So 1985. This one stars nobody that I know, Dave. Herbert West, Bruce Abbott, Dave, Jeffrey Combs. Don't know any of these people. This one is called Reanimator, Dave. So let's get into the trailer. Dave, this is proper from the VHS, this trailer. This is brilliant. You can hear the crackling, can't you?
Herbert West is at the top of his class in medical school.
How can you teach such drivel? These people are here to learn, and you're closing their minds before they even have a chance.
He's brilliant, but a little weird.
I've broken the 6 to 12 minute barrier.
Yeah.
Conquered brain death.
His experiments have always been unorthodox.
It was dead.
What is
But
this?
lately, they're getting out of hand.
It's Cillian Murphy and he's fucking maggot dick,
Just made a
Dave.
discovery
Oh my god.
that could wake up the dead.
Oh
Herbert West has
no.
affected reanimation in dead animal tissue.
What are you thinking? How do you feel? You?
15 cc's of reagent being administered.
Once you wake up the dead, you've got a real mess on your hands.
You're gonna put something like that up, are you? Oh my god. Oh, Dave.
Herbert, you're insane! Now what happened? I had to kill him! He's dead? Not anymore.
What? Wait a minute.
Herbert West brought a lot of dead people back to life, and not one of them showed any appreciation. H.P. Lovecraft's classic tale of horror, Reanimator.
Mr. West.
You'll never get credit for my discovery. Who's going to believe a talking head? Get a job in a sideshow.
It will scare you to pieces.
I tell you, when we speak next week, you are going to be clambering to go back and watch fucking Cillian Murphy.
you give it. Can a retro change my score, Dave? But anyway, Reese, what have you done? What have you done? Right. That is a stitch up and a half, that one. So, massive thank you to everyone, as always. Oh, God. If you want to email us, the vhsstrikesback@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @VHSStrikesBack. If you do support us, please get over to patreon.com/VHSStrikesBack. So, the roll call of honor, and a big thank you to Reese, Nick, Greg, Gareth, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dylan, Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt Hales, Kent, Lucky Green, Herb Shack, Matt Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. So thank you so much, guys. Oh my God. Dave, what have you got to take us out with today, my friend?
Sorry. And I know we're technically, we've got Halloween in the rear view mirror, but I think we're carrying on with the horror genre there. But yeah, I actually talked about this one with Scott on 20th Century Geek a few years ago. But I definitely, I am looking forward to discussing this one with you. In fact, I'd quite happily, watch you watching it at the time as it unfolds.
Stop it now. What music have you got for us, Dave? I'm not happy about this. I'm fuming now. Right, go on.
So with this having the British feel, which you are very against, you're thinking Big Daddy, you're thinking Shirley Crabtree. I've gone full into the Britishness of it because, with this starting off in jolly old London, I thought, you know what I've not done before? Bit of fucking Chaz and Dave. Again, we're going back to early 80s and we're thinking, I mean, they were everywhere, weren't they? A bit of Run Rabbit, but you got Snooker Loopy, you got that real pub boogie woogie sound to it. So here we go. This is called Run Zombie Run.
Run, zombie, run, run, run. Run, zombie, run, run, run. Run, zombie, run, run, run.
No Chaz Dave. Why this? Dude,
London looks all wrong. Empty streets and sawdust spends everyone bleeding gone. Run, zombie, run, run, run. Run, zombie, run, run, run. Run, zombie, run, run, run. Walked across the bridge and down it looked a sight. Staring at Big Ben, but the people never came. Round the corner legged preachers on the run. Eyes are red and frothy, made on bleeding gun. Run, zombie, run, run. Run, zombie, run, run. Run, zombie, run, run.
You can just imagine a bit of Chaz and Dave on a Saturday night on, light entertainment TV, like a bit of John Virgo on the snooker.
It's good. That was really good. Honestly, I was proper tapping away to that. It's really good.
It's very good fun, isn't it? But yeah, I thought you might not like it. I know you'd said before about the Walking Dead and sort of dropping out of that one, but yeah, I think it is going to pale in comparison, quite honestly, to next week. But thank you very much, sir. Thanks to Dylan for picking it. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back. That's not.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right.
Ding, ding. Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid. Yeah, maybe you stupid. I ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I see you in 6 months.